Okay, so I'm here chatting with Mackie, Mr. Neil McLennan, formerly of Blitz and Epic Problem, and just general punk legend, and happens to be a resident of the same tiny, backward Darwinian rewind of a town that I'm from, which is a mega coincidence that we'll come back into later along the line. So, firstly, Mackie, how you doing, buddy? You all right?
Mate, yeah, you, John? Sound?
I am getting there, mate. I'm falling apart.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling a day over 85 at the moment, after 34 years of hammering my body. But yeah.
John, in another 20 years when you catch me up, I'll tell you all about it.
I think you might be a Highlander, mate, like my sensei, Dave. It's like there's certain people that just seem to go through a lot and you still seem to be ticking over. And it's quite impressive, mate. I'm not entirely convinced you're not a Highlander. Dave definitely is. I don't know.
Buddy.
So look, you're best known probably for your part. Well, you were a part of Blitz, who were a phenomenally influential punk group. So tell us a little bit about your early musical career, how you got started, how Blitz formed. Start with a bit of that, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, mate. Well, Blitz came out of the ashes of a band, another band from New Mills they were originally called The Rhythm, and then it went on to be called Excess Rhythm. We were like, I don't know, maybe 17, 18 at the time. Used to practice at New Mills at the sixth form, the sixth form room there. And the claim to fame with The Rhythm or the Excess Rhythm is before I joined, they had a certain Lloyd Cole. I don't know if he played rhythm guitar for him or bass for him, but he was from Chapel, and Chapel didn't have a sixth form, so he came to New Mills sixth form. Got in with a few mates and stuff, and they formed a little band. They were kind of new wavy band. This has got to be 78, 79, something like that. And he left. He went to university in Edinburgh, I think, something like that. And the other lads in the band who I knew got me in. I couldn't really play bass, but I wanted to play bass. None of us could play that good. But anyway, so we started off and we did covers like, I don't know, Sex Pistols and Clash and stuff like that. Then we wrote our own stuff. Did a few little gigs around New Mills, even played Manchester a bit and stuff like that. The band eventually fell apart. This has got to be 79. Nidge, who later on was in Blitz, said to me, do you want to carry on? Do you want to do something else? And I says, yeah. And he says, I've got a singer, Carl. He was in The Rhythm. He says, Carl's on board. There's Nidge on board. I'm going to play bass. And we're looking for a drummer. So I says, okay, all right, let's have a go then. Anyway, Carl knew a drummer called Charlie in Buxton. We went up to audition in his bedroom, which was pretty good.
Awesome.
He says, what do you want me to play? And he had a Discharge poster on the wall. So he said, play a bit of Discharge, the D beat stuff. So he's like doing that in his bedroom. Fucking hell, yeah, he's in, we're impressed, like. Anyway, Charlie joined, so we're on the way then, like 4-piece. Used to practice in New Mills. There should be a green plaque or blue plaque, where we practiced, John, on Mill Street.
Absolutely, should be there.
Negotiations to get one made up. Anyway, Charlie used to...
Here, mate, we need that. Yeah, definitely. To be honest, Jackie, just to jump in, I think you absolutely need that blue plaque, because to me, you are probably the second biggest export that's had the biggest influence worldwide next to Swizzle Sweets. That's the way I put it. There's you, Swizzle Sweets, and then Bob from Emmerdale, Tony Ordenshaw. That's probably the three biggest things about it.
Exactly, yeah. No, not me, Blitz, as a mass. Not
of course,
me,
yeah.
Nidge was from New Mills. Carl was from Chapel, but we practiced in New Mills, and we're a New Mills-based band, if you like.
Can I just jump in as well for those people that are watching that don't know who Lloyd Cole is? Googling something of the crooner. Think Mr. Bublé, that kind of style of gig, right? Hey, so I just feel highly amusing to think of the origins of Blitz include that is the second most amazing thing I've heard, apart from when I was, get this, Mackie, you'll love this, mate. I was reading Tony Iommi's biography, Iron Man, because obviously I'm a huge Sabbath fan and what have you. Saw him on the store and the kicked ass. And he was talking about after Ozzy left, in the early 80s when they were auditioning many other singers, one of the guys that auditioned, none other than Michael Bolton. Can you get your head around that?
Hey, I know, John, that you're a big fan. I've seen the pillowcase.
Mate, oh, the pillowcase, no. That's like my pièce de résistance. You get the girl home, you know what I mean? You get the hot day, you come in, and there you have your Michael Bolton pillowcase with Michael at his poodle pern best with that look of slight confusion, like staring off into the middle distance, like that.
I know that. Yeah.
You know that look, yeah? It's like when dogs get bred too much, right? and then basically, but I was at, I took my my ex-partner and mother-in-law there because I won't lie, Bolton is a massive guilty pleasure of mine. I won't lie, the man has something. But
we've all got him, John. We've all got him, mate.
I felt better about it knowing that A, he auditioned for Black Sabbath, and B, Steel Bars, which is like the greatest tune ever, right? Apart from possibly How Can We Be Lovers, right? But Steel Bars was co-written by Bob Dylan, and I'm like, I feel slightly better about this now. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Can you imagine if we would have got in Black Sabbath? Where are we going with that kind of?
The mind just boggles. But I think it's nearly as strange as Lloyd Cole basically being in the first kind of incarnation of Blitz. But yeah. So let's get back to the back on point, buddy. Go for it.
Where were we? Oh yeah, right. So Blitz have formed. We're busy beavering away in the practice room there, writing stuff. We didn't really have a name at that time. I think we were briefly called UK Riot, which is a pretty punk rock name.
That's all right.
Yeah. And then Nidge was a massive Ramones fan. Me and Nidge have been friends since childhood. Went to the same primary school, same secondary school. Learned to play at the same time, jamming to Ramones records, things like that. I couldn't play the guitar, so I ended up on the bass. Nidge could do the bar chord, so he was away. Anyway, so he said, what about Blitz for Blitzkrieg Bop? So he says, yeah, okay. Unbeknown to us, there was a famous club at the time, you know, Steve Strange and Visage and all that Blitz, which was new romantic stuff. But, you know, we thought, never mind. It's Ramones, we're Blitz. We've got to be Blitz. So anyway, we went on to write stuff, demo stuff, did 2 or 3 demos, did a few gigs around, started getting a bit of a buzz. Luckily for us, the music papers at the time, NME wouldn't touch us. Sounds, a guy called Gary Bushell. A lot of people know this, but I'm just going over it anyway.
No, please.
A guy called Gary Bushell championed us. He really liked us. So he's saying, I've got this demo off this band, you know, this... he coined the phrase oi, right? We didn't like the phrase oi. We weren't an oi band. We were a punk band.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought Nidge hated it with a passion. Oi, what's fucking oi? You know, we're not having this. We're not Cockneys, you know, because it's always like a Cockney kind of thing. Anyway, we were just a punk band. We classed ourselves as. But he lumped us in with all this oi thing. We're happy to go along because, you know, we're getting press. We're getting national press in sounds. It was a massive seller back then. Anyway, eventually we did a demo that became the All Out Attack EP. There was an advert in Sound saying punk bands wanted to send demos, information to No Future Records, Adelaide House. So we sent it along, not really thinking a lot because we'd sent stuff out before. I've got quite a few rejection letters in my personal scrapbook. I've got a rough trade one saying you're not exactly what we're looking for at this moment in time. And I've got a pinnacle one saying, I don't think you boys have discovered your own sound yet. Shit like that. So, but you know, they're good to have in the scrapbook.
The music anyway, and conversation points now, aren't they, mate? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway, Chris Berry, the guy from No Future, he got back. No emails or anything then, obviously. We're way back. We're early 80s, 79, 80. And he says, yeah, I'd like to put it out. And we says, well, it's just a demo, like bashed out in Hologram Studios in Stockport. And he says, no, I love it as it is. I want it like this. I want it raw and everything. And we liked it. And, you know, listening back now, a lot of people like it, you know, because of that sound. You know, the drums are a bit tinny and the guitars are a bit fizzy.
I love this, mate. And I've kind of had this conversation with you briefly, but I always refer to myself as an analog man in a digital age, right? And I've had this conversation with mates of mine as well about the kind of graphics on films and things. Like, there's something about digital production, like really crisp production on records, that can take away from it. Now, don't get me wrong, it can add to it as well. Because you take like one of my other favourite bands, completely different genre, but Def Leppard, you take the Hysteria album, which is like the most produced album in history, and it's massive.
Yeah.
And it opens up different worlds, and that's brilliant, and that's a great way of using the production to sort of take you somewhere else. But unless you it's an all or nothing thing with me. It's either got to be like Queen and Roy Thomas Baker or Def Leppard, massive, or leave it raw. Because most of my favourite records, like the early Zeppelin and AC/DC and Motorhead and stuff like that, I like to hear the fingers sliding on the strings. I don't mind that slightly tinny sound. There is something quite nostalgic about it. It's hard to explain. It created a vibe all of its own unintentionally, I think, is a good way of putting it.
I think the thing with it, John, is it captured us at that time. And I've got practice room tapes, and, you know, it's just the same. That's how we were. You know, it wasn't produced as such. It was bashed out. How it used to work in Hologram was you could get like downtime. A band would book it for a week. Right, they're in, I don't know, they work in like dinner time till say 7, 8 o'clock, and then they'd had enough. Well, from 7, 8 o'clock until the next dinner time, the studio was free. You know, they had like night sessions, and those were recording one of the night sessions. I remember you'd go in like some band, I don't know, some big band would book it for a block booking, and they'd say, you know, we'd get in touch and we'd say, we want to come in, you know, how much is it? He says, well, if you can come in between 8 o'clock and 8 in the morning, you can have it for 20 quid, something like that. So that's when we did it. So I vividly remember coming out of Hologram, and it used to be on Stockport Market, you know, and we'd been working on it. It was a sweaty little studio and stuff like that. And we only went in one night and bashed it out, you know, and I can remember the smell of Robbie's Brewery. You know, it's like poetic moment, sat there thinking we've just created something. Because we've been in studios before. We didn't know what we were doing, really. You know, we're just young lads bashing stuff out, and it definitely captured us at that time, and obviously enough for Chris Berry to love it, bang it out at that time, and it went on to sell. It got in the indie charts. I don't think All Out Attack got in the national charts. But, you know, people got to know about us then. And then we're getting phone calls. Oh, want to play the 100 Club, you know, in London. You know, want to come to Birmingham, want to go wherever. And all of a sudden it's like happening. And we think, shit, it's happening. You know what we'd always wanted to happen? Because we're all big, you know, we were massive fans of music. You know, loved the Clash and Stiff Little Fingers and all that. And that's what we aspired to be. And all of a sudden, this is it. We're fucking doing it. So, yeah, they were great times. We went on to do another couple of singles, stuff like that. We didn't play live half as much as we should have done, right? We were disorganised. Back then, John, if you wanted to organise something, it's right, ring me at 6 and I'll be sat by the phone at 6, you know, because it was a cheaper rate after 6. So you'd be there and Chris Berry or whoever from the 100 Club would ring you, you know, and you try and arrange it then. It was like, you know, pretty backward looking at it, but we managed somehow. But we never got out there as much. I mean, and people know if they've read stuff about me and things like that on the internet, I wasn't a massive fan of the live thing.
Yeah, I'll come back to that in a second, Mackie, but like, I had this conversation. I've recently done an interview with a mate of mine who's a top British professional wrestler called Dave Pownell. And he's trained a lot of lads in the WWE. And I was he's done some screen fight choreography with me as well. And I was discussing the difference between a live performance and, say, for instance, me doing something on the screen on a closed set. There might be 20, 30 people who are going about the day doing the job. There's not actually that much attention on you, even though the finished product might get seen by millions of people. But
exactly, yeah.
And here's the main thing. When it was, for me, either performance on screen, on like a closed set or whatever, or even when I was doing combat sports at a high level, and it's like, there might be an arena with a couple of thousand people in it, right? But I'm not there for them. They're just there. I'm not there to make that connection. That is not the purpose of what I'm doing. I'm there doing me. And I can do that. I can click in gear no matter where I'm at. I might be happy as Larry, might be depressed as hell, but I can get in there and I can go. Now that with yourself, with Dave in his wrestling doing a live drawing, the whole point is to draw a response from a live crowd. Exactly the same with live music. And I can completely appreciate that because I think it's something, doing it every now and then in a pub, when I felt like it with my mates, I'll do that all day. I'll love it if I'm in the right place. Yeah. But doing that day in, day out, a touring band or something, right?
Yeah.
God knows what's gone on in your life. God knows where you're at up there. And you've got to get out there and you've got to connect. And it's almost like assuming a different persona. And that's not an easy. What are your thoughts on this then, bud?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I wish I could have been more like that. And had we done more gigs, it would have become more normal to do it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, oh, this is what we do. Not like, oh shit, we've got a gig next month. Oh shit, you know what if the van breaks down? What if the gear's shit when we get there? You know, that's just how I am, right? I don't know, that's my makeup. But then, I mean, jumping forward into when we were in Epic Problem, because Epic Problem must have done 4 times as many gigs as Blitz did.
Yeah.
And we toured, we got to go to Germany and Spain, you know, and we were doing like 5 and 6 gigs in a row. And when you're on, when you're out there and you've got the van and you've got your gear, you know, and you've got your boys and you're doing it, it's not an issue. It only really become an issue for me when, you know, it was like, oh, we've got one gig coming up in a month in London. So there's all the logistics of getting there and everything and the worry, stuff like that. I mean, I wish I was more blasé about it, but I'm not. That's just how I am.
Mackie, I'm not either, mate. I tend to be I'm relating to everything you're saying, but go on.
So, but when you're out there, you know, and like we've gone to Spain and you're there, you know, you've got like your little army and, you know, you've got your, so then, you know, the gear's good. You're not having to borrow a guitar, you're not having to do anything. All you've got to do is play the gig. And then the next day you just drive a bit more and play another. So that becomes the norm. So it's like just going to work, you know, but fun work.
Yeah.
You know, and I could hack it more then, you know, than in the Blitz days.
Like you say, you just get better with time and with experience, and I'm very much the same. And it does become more of a norm, and you get used to the fact that with everything in life, I think the perceived sort of outcome or possible outcome is always way worse than the reality. When you're talking about martial arts, competitive martial arts, when you're talking about gigs, it's the same thing. When you're in the moment, you can deal with it. And even if things are royally tits up, you're there and you can deal with it. But when you're just projecting forward, doing all this, like the what if moment, the negative projection stuff, it doesn't exist. So it's like, and there's nothing you can physically do about it. And you're just projecting into all these different scenarios and the stress is building. I get that, mate. I do that very much myself. I don't think there's a fight gone by where I haven't done that.
Yeah. You know, some people can just breeze, you know, can't they?
I
could. But I mean, we've gone way off track there.
No, this is the whole thing. I want to go off track. So coming back to your gigs, just quickly, you've played some absolutely storming gigs over the years, and I've seen you in Epic Problem with. I've seen you support the Subhumans. I saw you support the Old Firm Casuals, which is Lars Friedrichsen from Rancid side project. They were superb. Yeah. I know you played with Off With Their Heads. They're a great band, one of my favourites. Yeah. And then I seem to remember, you know, in the early days of Blitz and things, did you play with the likes of GBH and people like that? What are some of the more notable sort of gigs and names you played with and on?
We played with all, we were on the No Future label. We played with all those bands, which were like Partisans and Red Alert. We played with GBH in Birmingham. I mean, GBH did an infamous tour. I'd already left Blitz then, but they did City Baby Attacked by Rats tour, which I went to the Manchester one, which is a bit surreal because I'd left. You know, that's for another podcast in itself, John. But you know what I mean? I'd left for one reason or another. Wasn't happy, wasn't enjoying it. Still big mates with the band, so they says, "Oh, we're playing Manchester, playing the Apollo." I mean, the guy who booked this tour booked fucking massive venues. You know, the Apollo, the GBH, Blitz. I think there was Destructors. I think it was about 10 dates, something like that. So they said, "Come down." You know, we like, you know, we wanted to come because we're playing the Apollo. You know, a big part of this and everything. I said, "Yeah, fucking course I'm coming." Anyway, we went down. There was, I don't know, 200-300 people there, which what it would have been. You know, it should have been like a Star and Garter or, you know, the Academy at a push, that kind of size.
Yeah.
But they've got these massive venues, and they're all Apollo-sized venues across the UK. So there's like 200-300 punks and skins and kids rolling up to these big, you know, plush seated places. Well, it kicked off, didn't it? Seats got ripped out. You know, people got abused. It was, I mean, I wasn't there, but the one that ended it, there was a riot in one they played in Birmingham. A load of skinheads came in and trashed the place and everything. And you know, it was like this guy was like way out of his depth, you know, trying to sort it all out. But yeah, I mean, they were great days looking back. And Blitz never really played with anyone that big. I suppose GBH would be the biggest. Discharge, played with Discharge.
GBH, pretty seminal bands, though. Influential bands. I mean, Blitz themselves, though, mate, really, really, really influential. I mean, when I saw supporting Old Firm Casuals, and Lars from Rancid is name checking you from the stage and saying, like,
I know, mate.
For all my life, I never thought I'd get to share a stage with Mackie from Blitz. Wow, this is crazy. So for him, clearly, no, it was cool, man, because it was clearly a wow moment for him. And I've had these moments in my own career in regards to the film, the TV, the martial arts side of things. Like, I got to box in front of Sugar Ray Leonard once, and briefly. And yeah, I've had those moments. I've trained with Chuck Liddell, Ken Shamrock, Hoyce Gracie, Ramon Deckers before he passed away, Billy Robinson. So some absolute legends of the respective sports. And again, on the film and TV side, I've had my fair share of like wow moments as well. Like, I had a brief fight scene with Timothy Dalton with James Bond in Penny Dreadful, and also with Wes Studi, who was Mogwai in Last of the Mohicans. So that's you have these moments where they're kind of surreal sometimes, and in a really great way. And we'll talk more about that. But like, here's my. You've also influenced. I'm going to come back because I've got a story about how I came across Blitz, which you're going to find, I think, interesting. And it also relates to Rancid. So I'll tell this story now, and then I'll mention a bit more about some of the influence you've had. But it's that kind of butterfly effect, like ripple effect, because another band that I know that cite Blitz as a major influence is the Cro-Mags. And the Cro-Mags were like the first band that sort of did the punk metal crossover. From the Cro-Mags, you got Suicidal. Sorry?
That seminal, like, crossover, hardcore, New York hardcore, hard as nails.
Yeah.
A little bit on the metallic side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there, you know, they influenced everyone. They influenced Machine Head, Pantera, Suicidal Tendencies, Sick of It All, you name it. All that came from the Cro-Mags, and the Cro-Mags cite Blitz as a major influence. And then on the other side, and this is where my story comes in, right? Rancid. Now, I got into I did like sort of my classic British punk and what have you, Sex Pistols and Clash and Damned and all that. And I had Warriors by Blitz on a compilation album, and I liked it, right? So I'd heard the name, yeah, and I remembered the track, but I didn't really know who you were. And anyway, the next thing is the wave of punk that comes out, like the popular edge of it, but some really, really good stuff in the early days. Green Day, The Offspring, and Rancid. Yeah. Now, Green Day are bland as hell these days, but they did some great stuff early on. The Offspring were badass until they started deciding to write pop tunes for 5-year-olds' birthday parties, right? But the first few albums, they're amazing. Rancid is solid, and Rancid are still the absolute business. But even then, they were the ones I cottoned onto, because there was just something so familiar about the writing, about the subject, the style, the vibe of the whole thing, right? And I really cottoned onto it, and I was like, this feels so close to home. They're from California, but this feels really, really close. Then I find out, right, that they were massively influenced by Blitz, right?
Yeah.
And then I found out that you not only been from England, but been from bloody New Mills, where I live, tiny town. I'm like, what the fuck? Right? So this influence had bounced all the way over the Atlantic and found its way over there, and then bounced all the way back. And then after getting into, you know, Rancid particularly and all that sort of scene, Then I went back and I checked out Blitz and really, really got into it. And then we met a long time, well, quite a few years after that, because we bumped into each other in HMV. That's when we first started talking. We bumped into each other in HMV, and you actually came and started the conversation and asked about my fighting career things, and said, I don't want to sound weird, I'm not a stalker or anything, but like, I know who you are. And I'm like, I know who you are too. And then that was the first proper chat we had. And then we've been sort of matey since then, which is cool. But I just thought that's an insane sort of story. But it also just shows how that ripple effect has just far-reaching and just incomprehensible kind of effects. And you know what? Do you ever just sort of stop and just think, fucking hell?
Definitely. The thing is, John, is after Blitz had split, I got out of punk and I got married and had kids and all that kind of thing. Wasn't really interested in music that much. Played in a few bands, played in a funk band and played in like a psychedelic band and stuff like that. But wasn't really bothered. And then only later, when I met certain people and they're saying, do you know, Blitz were a massive influence on you know, Rancid and Negative Approach and Agnostic Front and all these, they all do covers. So of course you're on YouTube then and you're looking and like, Distillers, they're doing Warriors. They're playing to like 10,000 people outside somewhere in LA, you know, and like all these big bands.
Sorry to cut off, there's a great one on there of the Transplants, which was Tim Armstrong from Rancid and Travis Barker from Blink-182, their side project. And they're on there covering Razors in the Night, which is probably arguably your best known one. But, like you say, it's insane in the best possible way.
I mean, not sort of being in the loop, just like freaked me out. You know, what's going on here? But Nidge, if people know Nidge or not, Nidge carried the Blitz name on, and Nidge went to America. He got the chance to go there. And he went, you know, as Blitz. There was only Nidge, the guitarist, but Nidge was the main music. He wrote the music really for Blitz. I did a few. Nidge did, I don't know, 70%, 80%. Carl did all the lyrics, right? So anyway, Nidge went to America and they played with Agnostic Front. There's a good picture of him and Roger Merritt with his arm round him. Cool. You know, and you listen and they've done like Nation on Fire and they've done Warriors and, you know, bands have done. I've got a list here of the ones, and like I say, I've got Distillers, I've got Negative Approach. I can't remember, loads anyway, loads and loads have covered them. But the thing is that I'm looking on the internet. And of course, you're more curious then. I mean, this is like the early days of the internet, and you're looking and like you're googling Blitz or Blitz covers. Think, fuck, who else has done it? You know. And you've got the thing that I liked, as much as these massive bands doing covers, you know, Rancid did Someone's Gonna Die, you know, as a B-side.
I didn't know they'd done that.
Yeah, I think it was the first EP and they did it as a B-side. The bass is mad on it. It's like, why has he done all that on the bass? Because I'm just like plodding, you know, root note stuff. And he's obviously a fantastic bass player.
It's phenomenal.
Anyway, the other thing, so you start looking on the internet and it's got like Brazilian band play Someone's Gonna Die in their garage, and you've got some kids in Brazil with like 2-foot Mohicans, and they've got shitty guitars and shitty amps, you know, and they've learnt your songs and they're playing them there and they're just trying to get through them. You know, okay, they're not great versions and that, but they've took the trouble, John, to learn the lyrics and the music to your songs, and they're on the other side of the world.
Spectacular.
You know, and they're just doing it because, well, they were pretty easy to play, that's one, but they were catchy and it meant something to them. So that, to me, was as mind-blowing as the big bands doing it.
Oh, mate.
You know, go on.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I say, you know, the little kids who were doing it, you know, the young, like, scrawny punks, you know, in like a sixth form common room like we were, and they're fucking bouncing off the walls to Blitz stuff and everything. Yeah, amazing.
Great together, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you know, in hindsight, had we had our shit together, you know, we could have probably gone on and done, I don't know, done other stuff. I've been asked loads of times. I mean, Nidge, for people who don't know, when Nidge was touring in America, Nidge unfortunately got killed. He got run over. I think that was 2007. My sister rung up and told me he'd walked across this freeway, and they're like, I don't know, they're like 5 lanes, aren't they, going each way, so 10 lanes. And they got killed out there, so which is sad, but you know, we were sort of on speaking terms, although we'd lost touch. We never really fell out, but we just took different paths. But now, the irony is that we would have definitely done something now, you know, because I got back into playing, Nidge was still playing. Of course, people are saying to me now, you know what, do you want to, you know, I can get you on at Rebellion. I can get you on the main stage. I can get you $8,000. You know, I can get you 10 grand. I can get you a fucking new house and all, you know, crazy shit. A lot of it's talk, John, obviously. But I'm just thinking, no, I don't.
By promoters, we get similar shit. Carry on.
But I never wanted to do that, and I didn't think it was right. You know, just the bass player, you know, of Blitz going out to play some big thing, you know, and milking it. No. I mean, Epic Problem used to do the odd Blitz cover. We recorded one, and if we played a festival in Copenhagen, and the guy who flew us over there, he flew us over for 2 days and put us up in his house. And he was fucking really cool. Jeppe he's called. Yeah. And we played Warriors and we played Razors, but we played them, you know, because he was cool to us.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want it to be like, oh, we're playing in Manchester. Oh, let's go and see these. You know, Mackie for Blitz used to be on them. You know, they might play a Blitz song, and like, oh God, they've played 8 songs. They've not played one yet. Maybe the next one. Oh, right, yeah, the 10th song, you know, like the last song is going to be Blitz. I never wanted it to be like that.
Well, I've got to be honest, like, I loved Epic Problem, and me and my guys did a music video for you for Skin Crawl.
Yeah.
And, you know what, mate? In everything I've done, in terms of like all the wow moments, everything, just because that day was every bit as much fun as that video.
It was great. It was great.
Highlight one of. I mean this. I've done like way bigger stuff, you know,
yeah,
and got paid through the nose, and that's lovely. But for just pure enjoyment and experience, and that's what the whole damn thing's about at the end of the day, that is always just going to be one of my favorite like life experiences, days of all time. It was fucking brilliant. Loved it. Thought it came out really good, and I loved Epic Problem. You like you said, you were a lot more sort of prolific than Blitz, and I actually it was a slightly different vibe, but again, again, you are right. I knew full well that you're from New Mills this time, and like Petrol Blue and what have you. That's probably my favorite track that you ever did, because it just nails it for me. It's like I heard that song and I'm like, yeah, definitely.
The thing was with Epic Problem, there's me, Jake, and Murray, and we all were from New Mills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greg, the original drummer, he was from Bucks. He was a friend from the Blitz days. But I wanted to do something again. Years after Blitz, I'd got back into it. A guy called Andy McCullough, I'm mates with Andy, and he says, my son plays in bands, you know. And oh, right, can he sing? He says, he sings a bit like, he says, he's good on guitar. And I says, yeah, I'm going to get in touch with him. Got in touch with Jake. Said, do you want to do something? We started writing. We got Murray on board from New Mills. He played bass. Yeah, it was just great. It was productive, and like anything new, any relationship, like girlfriends or whatever, it's great at first, isn't it, John? And it's exciting and everything. You know, you can't wait to practice, and you know, you can't wait. Oh, fucking hell, did we really write this? You know, listening back, that is a banger. But yeah, getting back to the video, for people who don't know, we did a track called Skin Crawl, and John, I was suspicious at first, not because of you. I mean, I knew you, but Murray's saying, John Santry wants to do a video, wants to use his martial art guys, and how much is it going to cost us? Nothing. No, Murray, nothing's nothing. You know, everything costs something. No, let's go and meet him. We met you in the Queens, if you remember.
Yeah.
And you're saying, oh, what I do, Mackie, is, you know, have my guys fight and stuff like that, and we're going to film that. We're going to have the band playing. Eventually, we didn't play, but Jake was singing, and
you were in the video. You did a bit of live performance. You were in the video.
Yeah, we cut stuff into it. But like you say, I mean, Bez, who came and did the video, was fucking great.
He's awesome.
You know, and he's like, he's got the crowd there, and you're filming stuff and going over. And I thought, this is proper video, because we've done videos. We've done videos with Carl, your mate, Chalkman, who I believe will be editing this.
You will indeed, yeah. Hi, Carl.
Make me look good, Carl.
You'll have like a dog filter or like a Snapchat dog filter when it's finished.
Anyway, no, we've done videos with Carl, which were all great as well. But this one was like a mega production. You know, somebody's blowing a smoke machine about, John, and there's extras in, and, you know, fighters and people getting oiled up and fighting and everything. It was fucking great. It was genuinely a great day. And all it cost us, you said to me, you said, get a few bacon butties and a few beers, you know, for the extras and everything. What, 20 quid, something like that. Fucking great stuff, yeah. So I'm indebted to you for that, mate, forever.
Mate, the pleasure was all mine, because like I've loved your music for ages. It was a cool opportunity. I wouldn't do that for anyone. I would for the Wild Arts. If the Wild Arts ever want a video, anyone happens to see this, I'll work for free, seriously, because like that's my favourite band. But like, no, I love doing that. I love taking the money out of the equation and doing it for the love of it again. Some of the best fights I've ever had. A few years ago, I fought Danny Mitchell, who's a UFC veteran, and I boxed him, did a cage boxing bout with him, and it was for my mate Tony Diaz's show in York, and it was a charity do to raise money for a little girl that needed stem cell surgery so that she could see again, hopefully. But you had to fly out to China for that. It was a massively expensive deal. I believe they were family friends of Danny's, and I got a call just out of the blue. And at the time, I was in a bad place mentally. I was struggling. I was ill, and I was overweight. If you look at the video, I look like Butterbean, right? So you can kind of tell where I'm at. Luckily, I can still throw an overhand right like Butterbean, but, you know, there you go. But me and Danny had a really, really good tear-up. And I'll be honest with you, and I'm not being a bitch or anything, because he's a fantastic, fantastic fighter. In MMA, far further on than me. I actually thought I at least drew that, because I thought I did the first 2 rounds. And Danny even said to me afterwards, I thought it was a draw. But it was a charity gig, so you don't question it. And you know what? I didn't even give a damn, because, you know, the old saying, you know, records are for DJs. It's like, I didn't care. I'd gone up there. I'd had an amazing experience, and I pulled myself out of the doldrums. But you know what was lovely? Do you know, going into it, it was such a lighter feeling, because I thought, okay, worst case scenario, I'm not in a good state. Worst case scenario, if he sparks me out in 20 seconds, we've still done something for a good cause, and we're away. And as happens, it was a really, really good fight with some lovely technical moments in it and what have you. I was blowing a bit at times, but I got through it. But the thing that struck me, and it lifted me and it reinvigorated me, because there was no money involved. There was no stress involved. There was none of that crap involved. It was just purely for a good cause, a good vibe, and just for the love of it. Yeah. And every now and then I will always happily, you know, do a charity night or something like that. We've got a couple of things on for later here. So I think that's, you know, like with the video, just no, fuck the money, fuck the business, just about this. You're doing your thing, I'm doing our thing. We actually get to work it together. It was a cool collusion. There you go.
It was. I mean, talking of that, you know, you said Epic Problem. We played with some big bands, like you say, Off With Their Heads, and we toured with Slow Death. If anyone doesn't know them, they're an American band. Subhumans, loads of bands. We played big gigs. But spoke before.
Just to interrupt, you played on the main stage at Rebellion, didn't you, with Bad Religion headlining, another big American band.
We played twice at Rebellion with Epic Problem. The first time was the Casbah, which was like an outside kind of car park, but it had a roof on it. And if anyone's ever been to Rebellion, it's a massive festival in Blackpool every year. All the big bands come. You know, you get all your standard stuff. You know, you're going to get your GBH, your Cockney Rejects, you know, all that kind of thing. But all the American bands come as well. And every year you'll have like a Social Distortion or Rancid or Bad Religion or Pennywise. They all come. And what I liked about it was the smaller American bands will come as well. So you've got like Face to Face and Good Riddance, Bad Cop, they'll come because they base a tour around it. So the money they're getting for Rebellion, you know, let's say they're going to get $2 or $3 grand, that'll pay for their minibus, you know, in the UK to go around and then play Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool. So that's what I liked about Rebellion. some people slag it off, but for that side of it, you can't slag it off. And it's non-corporate, so you can't slag that off. You know, they've done it themselves. A lot of people say, you know, it's the old punks, you know, and they're spiking their hair up for the weekend and they go in, and there is a lot of that. You know, there's a lot of people, you know, they want to see Subhumans for the 40th time, or the Damned, you know, for the 100th time, and that's up to them, John, each to their own. But what I liked about it is the smaller bands come, you know, a Brazilian band will come, or friends of ours, Anger Flares from Japan, a Japanese street punk band, they'll come and they'll play it. So you get to see them.
Yeah.
You know, and that was great. Yeah, we played that Casbah. That was really good. And then we played there. We played 3 times, in fact. The second time, we opened the Empress Ballroom on, I think it might have been the Thursday. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I think we were the first band on. It's fucking huge, right? The Empress Ballroom. It's massive.
Yeah, I've did a door there. I used to work up in Blackpool on the doors quite a bit.
So yeah.
I've done events there and things, a big gaff.
So I'm obviously cacking it, John. You know, we're backstage. We've got a dressing room. Epic problem, you know, dressing room 1:30 till 2:30, stage time and all this shit. I mean, we're all practiced, you know, and we're ready. You know, we can do it. We've done a lot of gigs, and there's not, you're not worried about you can't do it, because you can do it. But it's just like, you know, they're going out there. Fuck, is there going to be anyone there? Literally, because you're the first band on. And I'm looking out, you know, kind of peeping through the curtains, Job. I said, Jake, guess how many? He says, I don't know, man, I don't know. I said, none. There's 0. There's nobody. Zilch. What we didn't know is the doors weren't open till 2:30. We were on at 2:30, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, is that good or bad for the nerves that there's nobody there? You know what I mean? You want it bouncing, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we get on, little bit of a line check, stuff like that. 1 or 2 filtering in. Oh, this is okay. A few more filtering, people who we know, waving, stuff like that. People from New Mills and gigs we've played in Manchester and all over Liverpool. Next thing, it's pretty busy, John. We're enjoying this now. We're halfway through the set, and there's got to be, I don't know, it probably holds 1,000, something like that. There's got to be like 600-700 in there. We fucking hell, this is amazing. Anyway, played. I have got some footage of that, John, which I'll link you up with.
I think I've seen that a while back, actually. So yeah, 4 minutes.
Yeah. And yeah, it was great. Yeah, that was one of the best gigs for me, because you come off and you're absolutely buzzing, and you've got like all the backstage stuff and everything, because at Rebellion upstairs, for people who haven't been, is all the merch stalls, and it's massive. It's like a big market thing going round, and there's all T-shirts, and everybody knows each other, and the bands are selling their stuff. It's really good. It's a good vibe, and you can catch up with people. You know, you can't knock it for that. That is one thing you can't.
I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Sorry, John. The thing is, there's a glass roof, and it's fucking roasting in there.
Yeah.
So people are selling merch all day, and there's sweat coming off them. But we've got the fancy laminates, haven't we? Hey, we've got. So we are downstairs, and there's like, you know, a nice bar, and it's cool, and all the other bands are hanging out, and you can go and talk to your mates and stuff like that. And it was a great experience, the whole thing.
Bit of a Wayne's World with your pass.
Yeah, it's like, but it's like 4 days. I mean, I've been 3 or 4 times, and I've only ever stuck it 2 days, because it's too much. You know, it's punk rock non-stop from like 2:30 till midnight every day.
I can relate to that. I did a European Championships in Amsterdam in 1997, and I ended up getting annihilated by some short, fat Moroccan dude that looked like Glenn Medeiros, you know, the crooner from the 80s. Like, nothing's going to change. He levered me, mate. I mean, he didn't. He couldn't have hurt me if he'd wanted to, but I couldn't move because I was 18 in Amsterdam. Wasn't really the best place to be holding the championship for me. The whole squad of absolute killers. There was myself, Dave Breed, Mick Waters, Darren Norris, and a lad called Jonathan from London, who was a very clean living young chap, and he was the only one that won. Because the rest of us, we were out getting absolutely off.
Mate.
Sampling the local delicacies and all that. And it was a very full-on weekend. It was a fantastic weekend. And yeah, that was like 2 days in 97. and I'm possibly just about ready, when possible, to go back now for another weekend. It'll last me another 20 years probably. But I know what you mean about,
I mean, people love it. Some people will go there, they'll go to Rebellion and they'll see maybe 1 or 2 bands, but they just get pissed. You know, and hang out with the friends. They'll see friends from all over the world, you know, where they haven't seen. And that, you know, that to me is cool about it. But you're asking me before we come on this about memorable gigs, and that was certainly a memorable one. But the other ones, like you say, you know, the smaller ones, the smaller fights you've had, and the little kind of, you know, the backstreet ones, some of them turn out to be the best.
Definitely.
And we played a place in Winston called Indigo Bar. And it was a little dive down these stairs, epic problem this is, and we're playing there. And our friend's putting it on Matt. And it was a benefit gig for refugees. Right, so he's saying, right, you lads are headlining. Oh, fuck, no, we don't want to headline. Yeah, you're on at 11. Oh, shit. I want to be in bed by 11. You know what I mean? I don't want to do it.
I get that exact. Just let me jump in there. I get the exact same thing. It's a massive honour when you're headlining, and it's a massive ass because you sat there with the adrenaline burning you all day long, and you go up and you go down, and you go up and you go down, and you're just hoping and praying that when your slot gets called, finally, that you're on an up and not a down. Right? It's a long, long day. Really, very much like myself. You want to go in there, you want to get the job done, and then you want to fuck off home and be in bed. Thankfully, this is the advantages of me getting a little bit long in the tooth on the fighting side now. It's like, you know, and I've stepped down from, like, you know, the bottom of the Premiership arguably to about Division 2. That's fine. And it's like, I'll still pull a bit of a crowd because of, like, you know, like, you used to be John Sancho. I'm like, yeah. So they'll still stick me on. But now, luckily, I'm much further down the bill usually. So it's like I get a chance to go out there, do my thing, and then so I'm not sitting there all night burning up with adrenaline and focusing that and holding that down. I can go out, do my thing, have a couple of pints, and enjoy the rest of the evening as a fan because I'm still a fan. Right. So I'm sorry to jump in. Do continue with this gig, please.
I don't drink anyway, John. I don't know if that's good or bad, you know, when they're playing these things, because, you know, the lads will have a few beers and they relax, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, we don't want to headline. So there'll be nobody here, right? This little bar. It was pretty busy, stuff like that. Anyway, a band, good mates of ours called Holiday, played just before us. I think you've seen them, haven't you, with us, John? Yeah, great lads, great band. Anyway, they played, getting pretty busy. This is all right. Anyway, so we goes on. It's fucking pretty rammed by this stage. Anyway, but they're right up close and personal, right? There's no stage. We're just like in this bar. There's a bar behind us and we're on the same level as the audience. There's a few monitors and mic stands set up and everything. Anyway, there's a guy in front of me, pissed. I've got a Leatherface t-shirt on and I'm playing away and he's going, play some Leatherface, play some Leatherface. I said, I don't know any Leatherface. Oh man, you've got the t-shirt on, play some Leatherface. Anyway, somebody at the side of him said, fucking shut up, mate. You know, stop being a dick. Next thing, brawl in there. Breaks out. I'm singing into the mic. Band's playing on. Bit of a brawl in front of us. This guy gets pushed into the mic stand. The mic hits me square in the eye like that. Oh, mate. I go sprawling backwards. I'm on effects, pedals and leads and everything like that. The gig stops. Anyway, the Holiday lads hoist me up like that. I look round at the band and I said, come on, lads, let's play on. You know, no worries. They're all pissing themselves. We've got a fucking great big shiner. Answer, like an instant shiner on my eye. Anyway, we carried on playing, played another song. It kicked off again. And it was like, there's no way I condone violence, John, because, you know, there's a time and a place for that. You know about that. But, you know, this was like Western brawl stuff. You know, there was tables and chairs and people being passed out and everything. But you know, that made a little shitty gig in Manchester, which we played hundreds of times, into a memorable little gig in Manchester. Because I ended up with a shiner, ended up on my arse, sprawling about like a cockroach. But yeah, you know, things like that you remember. So
again, it's a memorable night, mate. There's no two ways about it. It's I get complete what you're saying about the vibe of things, and just one sec. Sorry. Even though it's like you say, it certainly it's not your everyday experience, is it, when something like that happens?
No.
Like the idea of you guys playing on like the Jeff Healey band in Roadhouse where it's all going off. It's
That's
like,
exactly what it was.
Yeah.
The infamous one, people probably know about this, John, but some of your martial arts friends won't know about it, is Blitz played the 100 Club. It was an infamous gig. There's a tape of it on the internet. Now, Carl, the singer, used to kind of bait the audience a little bit. Come on, you lazy bastards, you know, get down the front and stuff like that. And anyway, we played the 100 Club. Carl came, it was winter, I think. Anyway, Carl came out, he got a United scarf on. He wasn't even thinking about football. And we were in London. And I believe after that somebody, maybe a West Ham fan or something, chucked this bottle or glass and it hit Carl. So Carl's on the floor and we literally were that band playing on. Because it was no different. Oh, Carl's on the floor. So what? We don't mind, you know, we put your foot on him and rock out a bit. Anyway, gets up, great big cut above his head here, all claret coming down here and everything. So the gig stopped. A guy called Mickey Fitz from the business stopped it all. And if you listen to the live recording of it, Midgey's going haywire. Who fucking chucked that? Who fucking chucked that? Get up here. I'll sort you out, you know, because Midge loved all that. You know, he was like, come on, I'll fight anyone. He's not bothered. And what I later found out, John, about that, by somebody else who got in touch with me, I'm a massive Fugazi fan, right?
Yeah.
Minor Threat, Fugazi.
Is that where the problem name came from? Because
there's a track by Fugazi, yeah. I'm a massive fan of theirs, and Ian McKay was at that gig. The other thing was, Emery Rollins, Black Flag, they were touring round there, and they'd been out, or I think it was the night before, or their gig had been cancelled, and Emery Rollins and Ian McKay had a night off. So they said, what should we do? Look in the listings. Oh, fucking Blitz, Red Alert, Partisans or something, 100 Club. So anyway, he's a fan, isn't he? Okay, so he's coming down to the gig. So he was at the gig, but Rollins didn't come. Oh. He didn't come as well. But I mean, that would have been Black Flag guy there, and Fugazi watching a shitty little band from New Mills. And I later spoke to him by email. Somebody put me in touch with Ian McKay. And I said, I've named my band after one of your songs, you know, I hope you don't mind. And he sent me a postcard, right, from Ian McKay. I've still got it. And it says, I am honoured by your name, he said. And I set him the records over, you know, thanks for the records, the fucking coolest guy. And he emailed me back and forward, you know, a few times. So like, that was starstruck stuff. But that was like the memorable Blitz one. But there again, for the wrong reasons, because it ended in a fucking hospital. But hey-ho.
Hey-ho. Listen, mate. My vibe, one of my major philosophies is if the experiential gain outweighs the physical damage, just do it. You know what I mean? And
exactly, yeah. I mean, we got a story out of it.
Damn right. Oh, that's the other one. Tragedy plus time equals comedy. My life's hilarious in hindsight. Trust me.
Exactly.
A lot of material there, mate.
Exactly.
Oh man. So.